this is gonna be a great end range hip external rotation strength drill or exercise. Basically, it's gonna help you build or bridge the gap between your active and passive range of motion. So if you have big passive range of motion, not very much active, then we need to build that strength and close that gap. So what we are going to do is get into the 90-90 position. So as you can see, my front hip and knee are in 90 degrees. Same with my back leg. If this position is too difficult for you, you feel like you're being shoved over or it's uncomfortable, you have some groin pain on either side, maybe some side pain here in the hip, we want to modify this. You can grab a yoga block, elevate your butt cheek on it, and now you're in a little bit of more of an upright position. If that feels better, cool. If it still doesn't feel good, you're probably gonna want a different position altogether because this is a progressed position. So don't push into it. You need to find a regression or a different position. From here, with a lift off, we are going to find close to the end range of motion where we are able to perform a little bit of a movement, just a lift off in external rotation. So we wanna make sure we know what muscles we are going to find to do the movement first. So if this position is really difficult, then we are gonna regress it for a second, just so you can feel what the movement is. So we want to think about externally rotating this thigh, rotating the thigh bone out, lifting the ankle like so. You should feel these muscles in your glutes. You might feel your adductors helping you a little bit in the inner thigh. Both are totally fine, but this is definitely more of a glute exercise, externally rotating, so you should feel that. Now that we go into the more progressed movement, we are going to try to do that again. Keep your knee down, find those muscles, and try to lift the ankle off the ground. This is very difficult. If you are able to lift the ankle bone, that outer ankle bone, off at all, this is totally fine for you to do. If you could not lift it off and your pelvis was rotating all over the place, then you can modify it by coming out here just a little bit. And now you can get a little bit more range of motion. We can modify it coming down to the elbow again to get a little more range of motion. So we're coming out of the end range to make it modified to meet your body where it is. The key with lift-offs is making sure that it is really difficult, but we are able to do the movement without compensating, right? So no pelvis motion, no ankle things happening, no trying to use momentum. That's not going to get you the adaptations we need to actually close the gap between your active and passive range of motion. What you want to make sure you're doing is finding a position that's really difficult, but you're able to achieve it, and you're only really able to lift just barely off the ground. That's what we're looking for. So if this is too easy, by all means, you can make it harder by elevating your ankle now on a yoga block or leaning into that external rotation a little bit more and doing the same exercise, trying to clear that movement. Find the position that works for you, hold for 3 to 5 seconds or the prescribed amount of time, and then rep them out, slowly controlling each rep for the prescribed amount of reps, which is typically around 3 to 5.